What is up, guys? 616 Reviews. Today, I'm going to be talking about why I like the Warrior Mini more than I like the Baton Pro. And I don't own an S2R Baton 2, but I think it's pretty similar to the Baton Pro. And I don't think I would like that more than the Warrior Mini either. So let's get into it. Before we start, I bought both of these on Black Friday. With my own money, I was not given these by Olight. I do have reviews to both of these individually on my channel. I'm going to directly compare side by side why I like the Warrior Mini more than the Baton Pro. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with kind of look and feel. So if we put them side by side, they are very similar lights, right? They are extremely similar in size, both in length and diameter. They both have side buttons, and they both have the reversible pocket clips. They both got this grip pretty much in the exact same spot, right? Really, only difference on the body is the lanyard loop is there on the Baton Pro, and it's on the belt clip here on the Warrior Mini. And the Warrior Mini on the bottom has a tail switch, and the Baton Pro just has the magnetic charging pad. So to get super specific, I mean, they're literally, let me see here. The Warrior Mini is 2 millimeters shorter and 2 millimeters less in diameter than the Baton Pro. They weigh, the Warrior Mini is 2 grams lighter. So really, as far as size, these are pretty much the exact same. Now, throwing the S2R Baton 2 into the mix, that is a bit of a smaller light. So that's 7 grams lighter than the Warrior Mini. It is 6 millimeters shorter and the same diameter. So again, those three lights, they're really very, very close. Now, they all run off 18650s. They are all IPX8 waterproof rating. The Baton 2 and the Baton Pro use the MCC1 charging cable, where the Warrior Mini takes the MCC3 charging cable. So that is a plus there, because that means faster charging. Looking at the user manual for the lights, the Warrior Mini charges, it says charges about an hour faster than the Baton Pro. So that's a definite plus in my book. Now, as far as modes go, both of these and the Baton 2 all have 5 modes, from a moonlight, a low, medium, high, and then a turbo mode, and they also all have a strobe mode. Now, as far as the modes, I'm just going to directly compare the Baton Pro and the Warrior Mini here. I'm not going to throw out the numbers for the Baton 2. So the Baton Pro's moonlight is 5 lumens, which runs for 9 days. The Warrior Mini's moonlight is 1 lumen, which runs for 45 days. Now, in the case of the lowest brightness, the Firefly or the Moonlight mode, I want the lowest amount of light possible and for the longest time, right? So if I have a Moonlight mode, I'd rather have the 1 lumen that lasts 45 days than have 5 lumens that only last 9 days. If I'm going for absolute, bare minimum amount of light, there's no reason to have 5 lumens when I can have 1. Now, low on each of these lights. Low on the Baton Pro is 30 lumens, which you get 55 hours. And on the Warrior Mini, you get 15 lumens for 150 hours. Now, this is kind of a wash to me, because the 30 lumens is nice because that's, decently bright. We only get it for 55 hours. The 15 lumens is still pretty low here on the Warrior Mini, but you do get that for 3 times the amount of time. So, I'm kind of in between on that. Level 3 for both of these lights is 120 lumens. Somehow the Baton Pro gets 810 minutes, which I believe is 13 and a half hours, whereas the Warrior Mini gets the same 120 lumens for 18 hours. So according to their website and their spec sheets, you get an extra 4.5 hours at the same power out of the Warrior Mini. I don't know if that's true or if it's a typo. If it's true, maybe it's just different circuitry inside of these. But according to their website, you do get extra runtime at the same level, the same medium level than the Baton Pro. Now, going up to high on the Baton Pro, you get 600 lumens for 210 minutes. That's 3.5 hours. On the Warrior Mini, you get 500 lumens for 218 minutes. That is 3 hours and 38 minutes. But then it ramps down to 170 lumens for an additional 50 minutes. So in comparing them, Really, you get 100 less lumens out of the Warrior Mini, but you get it for 8 more minutes than this. And also, once the Baton Pro has reached its 3.5 hours, it's done. Once this has reached its 500 lumens for the 3.5 hours, it goes down to 170, and you get almost another hour of light out of the Warrior Mini. So even though it is 100 lumens less, overall you're going to get almost an hour more runtime, and 170 lumens is still really bright out of the Warrior Mini. So I'd rather take the 100 lumens less, because 500 to 600 really isn't a huge difference, and I'd rather get the extra hour of runtime out of the Warrior Mini here. And looking at turbo mode, so the Baton Pro on turbo mode, you get 2,000 lumens for 1 minute. Then it drops to 600 lumens for 2 hours and 40 minutes. The turbo mode on the Warrior Mini is 1,500 lumens, which you get for 4 minutes. Then it drops down to 500 lumens for 205 minutes, then to 170 lumens for 55 minutes. So again, the Baton Pro does have it beat. It's 2,000 lumens versus 1,500, but you get that 2,000 for 1 minute or 1,500 for 4 minutes. Again, at that level, 2,000 versus 1,500 isn't a massive difference, and I'd rather get the 4 minutes instead of the 1. And not only that, but this drops to 600 for 160 minutes, whereas this drops to 500 for 205. So that's an additional, that's an additional 45 minutes of runtime out of the Warrior Mini. Now, it is 100 lumens less, but again, it's 500 versus 600 lumens. That's not a huge deal. So I'd rather have the extra 45 minutes of runtime. And then, after that, the Baton Pro is done. The Warrior Mini, you still have 55 minutes at 170 lumens, which is still very bright. So in summary, I take the Warrior Mini over the Baton Pro for really 3 main things. So I like the tail switch a lot. I love having a tail switch. There's no tail switch on the Baton Pro. I like the MCC3 charging cable versus the MCC1 charging cable. It just charges faster and it's better, right? And lastly, I like the modes on the Warrior Mini more than the Baton. I feel like you get longer run times at more reasonable lumen levels. Again, the Baton Pro can get brighter, but at the end of the day, it's kind of negligible, and I would rather just have more runtime out of the Warrior Mini than the slightly brighter light of the Baton Pro. So that about wraps it up, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and if you got any comments or tips or, what one do you like more, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll talk to you next time.